Alright, so the first order of business was to make a tripod and bring a tripod out here with me. So I built one out of sticks. That should work for today. This location, surrounded by water, except for this direction, which goes on for probably a good 500 feet or so. But that's a great spot for catching fish. And out there is a ton of wild berries. Okay, so with this stump to sit on, I'm going to show you my very cheap Thrifty bug out bag. This bag itself I bought for $1.99 at Salvation Army. Some kid probably used it for high school, went off to college and donated it. But for $2, it's sturdy, it's got lots of padding, holds tons of stuff. Anyways, let me set this up on the tripod so I can show you all the junk that's in here. Alright, I hope this is going to allow you to see everything that's in here. First of all, bottle of water, big deal. Probably have a lot bigger bottle, or a couple bottles if I was actually bugging out. This is just stuff that I stuffed in here last minute. A bunch of Nutri-Grain bars, Nutri-Grain. Stuff anything else in here last minute? I think that's the last minute stuff. Because if you're going to bug out, there's nothing stopping you from reaching into the cupboard for 2 seconds before you leave. Anyways, there's no particular order to everything in here except for the first aid kit, which I got up here for easy, quick access. Everything else is really random. Alright, sewing kit. Whoop-de-doo. This is actually the best sewing kit I've seen. It's got this cool plastic case. It's got full-size spools of thread instead of those little dinky ones, and it's got like friggin' like 30 needles in there. A pair of scissors, buttons, clips. Even got a little ruler if for some reason you need to measure the fish you caught. There's that. Emergency blanket. Everybody's got one of those. Uses are obvious for emergency blanket. It's 98 cents at Goodwill. I bought this at 98 cents. That was, the sewing kit was $1 at the dollar store, at the Dollar Tree. Got a 3-pack of Twine at the Dollar Tree as well. Very useful for building your shelters or doing whatever with, building anything with really. This is my little stack of AAA and a couple AA batteries for the flashlights that are in here. I have a couple pairs of gloves. These are cheap dollar gloves. Those batteries are dirt cheap too. I bought a 30-pack for like $2.99, I think. These gloves, dollar store gloves, cost $1. Big pack of little tissues, for sanitary uses. Use them as napkins, toilet paper, fire starters. But there's no reason not to stuff a bunch of these anywhere you have extra space because they weigh absolutely nothing. Okay, more electric tape. I use some of this to set up my tripod because it's cheap and I have tons of it. If this were a real bug out situation and for some reason I need a tripod, I might try and scavenge some natural materials to save my electric tape for more important things, but it's not. So I just use the electric tape. This is a mesh utility bag. Normally people would use this for laundry or something, but I find that this is going to have a ton of uses. You can use it as a fish net, it as a mosquito net. You could use this camouflage, you could use it for its intended purpose. You could store stuff in it. You could store stuff and hang it from a tree so animals can't get at it. By the way, I apologize for my voice. I just had some teeth pulled, so I'm talking a little funny. What's in here? It's a little Johnson first aid bag that came with nothing in it, so I just threw a bunch of stuff in it. Oh yeah, I got some Cliff Bars, some tea. Can you see that? I got a bunch of little Slim Jims. These were $1 for 5 or 6 of them, I think. And the Cliff Bars, I don't know, I just grabbed them out of my pantry. This was $1 at Walmart, or 98 cents at Walmart. The bag itself was $1 at a liquidation store I used to go to, but they have since gone out of business. This was $1 at the dollar store too. Alright, more batteries. I think that's 98 cents at Walmart. This is another first aid bag. It's got some $1 anti-itch cream in it. $1 triple antibiotic ointment. Actually, I think this came from one of the first aid kits. I bought a couple of them, but I condensed it all into one to save space. Cotton balls. Everybody knows you can use those star flyers, rub a little Vaseline or Chapstick on there. It works beautifully. You can also use it for first aid. Same with the flu mask. You can use the flu mask as a filter as well. These were $1. I mean, this right here was probably cost like 10 cents. You get a giant bag of them for 99 cents. But the flu masks were $1. Some more tissues. These are pretty cool. These were at the dollar store as well. They are washcloths, but they are condensed into these little tiny packages. You open them up and they puff out into a full-size washcloth. These ones got stupid little cartoon characters on them, but who cares? I think you can buy, they sell these exact same thing at places like Cabela's, but they probably want like $5 for them, except they're white, they don't have cartoons. So if you hate cartoons, go spend an extra $4 to get a boring white one. Some tin foil, use that for either reflecting, or you can use that to cook stuff on. That's the main reason I get in there. If I catch a fish, you know, I don't want to cook it on a bunch of sticks for some reason, then I can cook it on some tin foil. You could also boil some water in that if you needed to. Some plastic bags, clear plastic bags. You know, you can use these for storage, a variety of other purposes. The reason I choose clear is so I can also use it to collect water, you know, make a solar still if I needed to for some reason, even though I'm surrounded by water. A bunch of little plastic bags, keep things waterproof. There, all that stuff was under $1. What wasn't under $1 is this tarp. This was $9, $9.99 at Rennie's, which is a Maine store. I don't think they're anywhere other than Maine, but it's camouflaged. It is 9 by 12. You can use that to make a shelter, among other things. You can also use it to sleep on if you don't want something above you for whatever reason. More electric. It's like 20 cents for this. Let's see what's in this other pocket. This is another item that cost me a little bit of money. It was like $9 at Harbor Freight. It's not the best knife in the world, but if you need to chop some wood with it, saw some wood even. It's also got a little fishing kit in the handle, but it's covered with grease for some reason. So I'm not going to take that out and get myself covered with grease unless there's an emergency and I need a fishing kit. I already have a fishing kit, so I don't need that one. That's an emergency fishing kit. But I would not mind beating this knife to hell, using it to chop wood, because it's a $9 knife. I also have, I think this was $10 at Walmart. I haven't taken the plastic off yet, but a nice, heavy, sturdy axe. Obvious uses. It's the one thing, the knife is nice because it's light. This, you don't really want to get a light axe because it won't be able to do its job. Oops, I had a bunch of crap in this bag and it's all falling out. Well, I got a plastic knife, a couple plastic knives and forks. Baby powder. If you're walking, if you're bugging out and you're walking, you're going to be walking a lot more than usual most likely. You might get, you know, your legs all chafed, and that's going to come in extremely handy. A lot of people don't have that in their bag, but to me it's essential. A little light. I got 2 of these in here actually, I think. But it's a little headlight. Comes with AAA batteries. Lasts for 16 hours. Obviously you're not going to have it on for 16 hours straight, so this is going to last you for weeks when you need it, if not longer. Plastic knife. This was $4 at Walmart. Very cheap, but It's actually better than one that I had previously that cost like 20 bucks and it was a piece of junk. The batteries would die even when you're not using it. This one, I've had another one here I've been using forever and it still shines super bright. This is a dollar store knife, $1, and I have another one here. I'll open it up for you. But for $1 for 8-in-1 multi-use knife, that's beautiful. There's my little fishing kit I showed you earlier or later, depending on how I edit this video. That proved rather ineffective because it just got too tangled up. I got some more line in here though. These right here you would use for, well, there's a variety of uses, but the main purpose for having them in the fishing kit is so that I can string them through the gills and keep them in the water, keep your fish fresh until you get back to your site. A variety of hooks, some weights, which will definitely come in handy, as I found out while I was trying to fish earlier with that shitty tangled line. Those weights would have come in handy, but I left the kit near my kayak. And these little doodads right here, you can screw those right into a stick and have yourself a fishing pole. Hey, look, a boat. You don't often see boats in this part of the river. There's a boat. Which means I'm going to shut off this video for just a moment. Alright, I'm back. That was kind of annoying. I've been here many times. I've never been disturbed by a boat before. Every now and then there's occasional kayaker, but never a boat, especially in that area where the water's really shallow. But it just goes to show you how the fishing is around here. Just while I was watching them for a few minutes, he caught 3 good-sized bass. I don't know if he kept them or not, I couldn't tell. He was using a fly fishing pole as well, which is impressive because there was a ton of insects on the water. So to catch something with a fake fly when there's real flies everywhere is impressive. Anyways, back to the bug-out bag. Alright, dollar sanitizer. Everybody knows what that's for. This is just an extra spool of fishing line. If you're out for a while, you're going to lose a lot of line, you're going to break a lot of line. Have some extra line. I just proved to myself that that tiny little bit of line I got in my emergency fishing kit is not going to last very long. They look more Slim Jims. Here's my little, oh, and this was like $3 at Walmart. Alright, this little mini fire starting kit. Nothing special in here. Just a couple boxes of matches, a lighter, and one of those little magnesium rods, which I consider a novelty. I mean, if you got a lighter, you don't need one of these bricks. They take forever. They hurt your hands when you're trying to scrape everything off. They dull your knife if you're using a knife. And, you know, the lighter is lighter and much more efficient. I did that wrong. I don't even remember how to do that. I gotta read the directions. Big can of Repel, of insect repellent. Obviously, I don't need a can this big in my bug-out bag. I have a smaller bottle that I bought recently, but I forgot to switch it out. This one's a little too heavy and not very efficient because one of those little spray bottles is going to last you a lot longer than a big ass can like this, which is mostly just air. 3-pack of lighters. Can never have enough lighters. I'm just keeping an eye out for that boat because I don't like to be disturbed out here. And it's going to be coming back this way eventually. Some random fishing stuff. This was $1 at the Dollar Tree. Bliss sticks. A lot of people bring Chapstick with them. I prefer Bliss sticks. It does the same job. But I just have a preference for Bliss sticks. You know, some people carry a tub of Vaseline, some carry Chapstick. I carry Bliss sticks. Bobber. Because you're going to have a lot of stuff to do while you're camping, most likely. You know, set your line out for a little while instead of actively fishing. Here's something I haven't seen a lot of other people have. It's an Altoid tin with some firecrackers. Noisemakers you need to attract attention or scare off an animal. Beautiful. In a real bug out situation, I would actually have a gun with me, which would do the job much more efficiently. But for now, that's going to do the trick. I had some little hotel shampoos last time I was at a hotel. I snatched some of these. You never know. Want to keep clean. Clean is healthy. Let's see. This right here is I think this was $2 or $3 at Walmart. It's just a little signaling mirror. I don't think I'll ever have a use for the signaling mirror, but as a regular mirror, you never know. You might get a splinter. You might get something on your face. You can't just look in the water to pull something out of your face if you need to, or to patch something up. It's good to have a mirror, especially if you're by yourself. And it doubles as a reflection mirror if you happen to need one. This I got at Goodwill for $5.99, I think. It's a crank flashlight with a radio and an alarm, and yeah, there you go. It works awesome, and I think they normally go for like 50 bucks at LL Bean. This cost me $5.99. Keep an eye out at Goodwill. I find amazing deals there all the time. Your Goodwill may vary. For example, my Salvation Army sucks. I hardly ever find anything good there, but the Goodwill always has tons of good stuff. Other people who told me their Salvation Armies are amazing in their Goodwill stuff. Just shop around. Alright, I got some little tubes. This is aspirin. If you don't know what these tubes are, they are amazing. They are indestructible. You can run this over you with your car and it will not break. But all it is a 20-ounce soda bottle that hasn't been expanded yet. And you can find people selling these online for much more than they're worth. But I found a site which is now defunct. I bought a bunch of these off them. I think it cost me like 10 bucks for like 50 of them. And I sold the rest on eBay and got my money back. It's also good for carrying rubbing alcohol. This rubbing alcohol has been in here for about a year. And it's leak proof. It's, you know, it's 91% alcohol, good for starting fires, good for medicinal uses. Glow sticks are useless in my opinion, but I have one anyways because I had a spare little tube. I have a whole bunch of these at home. But if you think about it, this little glow stick, you break it, it's good for the next 8 hours, and then it's useless to you. You can buy flashlights that are this big that'll last you weeks. There's no point in having one of these in your survival kit, yet every single survival kit or bug out kit that I have seen has those in it. Why? It's useless. I'm a hypocrite though because it's in mine. Little survival whistle with a compass. I always test the compasses before I buy them because I notice some of them are junk, especially these liquid ones, but this one works good. I tested it. Thermometer on the back. I don't know why you need that. If you're out in the wild, you can tell if you're cold or warm, but I got it. It's in there. And there's a survival whistle. This is just a little random LED light that I got for free somewhere. I stuck it in here. You know, if you need to attract attention, you got a little reflecting. It's a reflector, even if it's not on, it's still reflecting. And if it's dark out, you can turn it on. More batteries. You know, I probably have a year's supply worth of light with all these little batteries because those little LED lights last forever. More batteries. Another headset, Walmart. It's got a little red and a white light, but I've been using this one for a year, and look, it's still perfectly bright because you're only going to use it for maybe an hour at night at the most, right? And I guess that boat's just chilling over there. Oh, here's dollar store light. I think it even came with the batteries for $1, and it's super bright. I find the dollar store ones don't last as long as the ones you pay a couple bucks for at Walmart. This one I think probably lasts you 6 hours as opposed to 16 hours. And a dime. You never know what you're going to need a dime for. Just kidding. I must have fallen in there. And some gloves. I kind of just stuffed those in there. Last but not least, first aid kit. This is a $5 kit at Walmart. It came with a lot of good stuff, but the first thing I did was I opened it up and I tossed that cold pack that comes with it, because that takes up half the bulk, and you don't need a goddamn cold pack. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a comfort thing. If you get a headache, you can get a couple hours of relief out of a cold pack, but I'd rather use that space to put a ton more stuff in there. I replaced it with this giant roll of gauze, because none of these first kits has enough gauze for a serious accident. If you need to wrap yourself with gauze, these little pads that it comes with ain't gonna do shit. And it's also got all the sanitary pads, a couple more gloves, alcohol pads, tape, band-aids, little antiseptic packets. It's got all your basic first aid needs. And I think that's it. Yeah. This whole bag did not cost me very much money. I'll try to add it up and put it in the description how much the total this kit cost me. But it wasn't much. Definitely cheaper than some of the ones you see out there that people prepackage and stick on eBay for you. You can do it yourself a lot cheaper, and there'll be better stuff in there. So that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed.